We want to go ahead and get started. It's at 5:05. Welcome. Good evening, parents. Thank you for joining us today. We look so excited to hear from you and just to have an open dialogue. Welcome to our first virtual PPN meeting, Parents Partner Network meeting. Tonight we have three special guests here on the agenda. The three school principals will be talking to you tonight about what's going on in their building and allowing you to ask questions and giving feedback. I know everybody has a lot of questions and just want to know what's going on. It's been a crazy 2020 school year, but we are in it together and we're working together. We're more committed to serve you and your child in this pandemic year. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Hopefully you got a chance to submit some questions before the meeting in your registration, but if not, you can still go ahead and click on the chat button and you can type your question in right there as we are speaking live. So I'm gonna start with the elementary school principal, Mr. Andre Anderson.
Good evening, parents. Um, for the elementary, just want to go over a few updates. Um, we are in the midst of completing our MAP testing. Now, MAP testing is an adaptive test that our students take, and we give 3 times per year. One of the biggest challenges that we've had this year is to um, administer the test virtually and in seat. Of course, in seat went very well. Our virtual testing is still ongoing, but we plan on ending that October 30th. Um, on October 8th, the elementary had a Title I parent meeting. At that meeting, we provided a survey to parents, and I just wanted to go over some of the results from the survey. We asked the parents about family activities, and 51% of our parents requested literacy workshops. The literacy workshops is something that we started last year, in which we provided parents strategies. Basically, the same strategies our teachers presented on the same strategies that they use in the classroom so that we can provide those supports at home. Along with that, we provided resources to go home to parents so that students will have reading materials and resources to, I guess, implement those strategies as well. So we're going to continue with that this year. Next week, we're going to be planning for that. But many of our parents requested those, as well as training on educational materials. So from the survey results, we're going to look at that data and see how we can accommodate the parents in that aspect. Another thing that's happening in our building is our fresh fruit and vegetable program. Of course, we have two components of that. We have in-seat. So pretty much every day, 9:30, 10:30, our NC students receive a vegetable or fruit to eat throughout the day. For our virtual parents, we decided that we were going to do pickups. So the pickups will be basically the third Tuesday of each month. So our next pickup is November 17th. And then the following pickup will be December 15th. Okay. And the pickup times will be from 2:30 to 5:30. Okay. In regards to lunches, we also in our building have a meal pickup, district-wide meal pickup. For the virtual parents, we have that on Tuesdays and Fridays. On Tuesdays, it's from 3:30 to 5:30 at doors number 6. And on Fridays, it's 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that's for our virtual pickup, our virtual meals pickup. And in regards to our in-seat students, as you know, we had to do things a little differently in regards to servicing our students. So lunches are provided in the classrooms. And with that, students are provided a hot meal, but it's not as frequent as it would be if it was in the cafeteria, obviously. The elementary hot meal is once per week. The middle school will be twice per week. And then the high school basically provides a hot meal daily option. And any of the school principals can talk more about their specific buildings. That's all the updates I have, Mr. Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Again, if you have any questions for Mr. Anderson concerning the elementary school, just put that in our chat. This will be your one-stop shop to get information from kindergarten through 12th grade concerning all your issues or concerns. So again, if you have any questions you forgot to ask prior to the meeting, please just drop that right in your chat. We're going to move right along to middle school principal, Dr. Charles Rencher.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Anderson, for going over those details and logistics, because I was going to say much of the same thing to our parents. I'm very excited to be here this evening to interact with our parents, our stakeholders, other staff members. This is a great year to be in education. I know you probably don't hear that a lot, but this is an opportunistic year to make sure that we try to level the playing field. And we have the opportunity to do so. So I just wanted to make sure that was set. Even though we have the challenges, we have the obstacles, but I always thought that obstacles were opportunities and challenges were chances to do something great. So I'm excited to be here. I'm happy to be with you, and you are the ones that we need to be with at this point in time in this pandemic. So let me give you a few updates from the middle school. One thing, trying to work on my eye contact. Hopefully it feels like I'm looking you directly in the eye, but MAP assessment on site for those who've had tech issues. We've sent out an invite to parents who need to get that access to an on-site testing because of any tech issues that you may have had. Thank you for being patient with that, and thank you for working with us as we work with the companies that are trying to get those resources out to us. It's a nationwide drought, and we are just one of thousands of districts that need these technological resources. So we're doing all we can. Thank you for your patience. Also, we're sending out information to parents on how to log into PowerSchool on your own. I know you've been logging in for the middle school through your child's account, and you can see some of the same things that you'll see in your own account, but it's not personalized to you, and you cannot add different children to the same account. So I know we're going to get that together. We're in the process of sending that information out. So you should look forward to it soon at the middle school, and I believe at the high school as well. And I know that the elementary is soon to follow. Also, opportunities to make this challenge a chance to be great. Study hall. We're trying to use study hall as a chance to allow students to get that academic support, to get more chances to level the playing field, like I said earlier, but get the knowledge and the extra support to address the gaps that they may have in learning. So we've taken the MAP. About 65% of our students have taken the MAP exam, measure of academic progress exam. That allows us to understand what we need to do for specific students. It allows us to try to get a individualized plan together for students based on their needs. So that's why this test is important. A lot of students may think it's just another assessment and they blow it off. But please impress upon your child that this is definitely something that they need. It's like their launch pad, so to speak. In order to do something great, in order to launch as far as you can, you have to have a strong, firm foundation. So you can't have your launch pad shaky. We need to make sure that we have the correct information, accurate information based on what students need academically. And we're trying to put together social, emotional learning supports as well at the middle school, because the district, I don't want to say at the middle school, the district believes in social, emotional supports, addressing the whole child. And when I say that, addressing any type of, I guess, food service needs, addressing the basic needs before we try to address any type of academic needs, because we know you can't get to the mind unless you get through the body and the mentality. So that's one thing that we're trying to do at the middle school specifically, definitely. I think that's about it. I'll leave more time towards the end to address specific questions. I know one of the questions was, do we have food service for those on site as well as those who are virtual? And the answer is yes. Any student in the district has that opportunity to obtain food services during the times that Mr. Anderson mentioned earlier, Tuesdays and Fridays. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rencher. I got so excited about tonight's meeting, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Mr. Ken Williams. I'm the district parent and community liaison. I'm the coordinator of anything dealing with parents. And so the PPN is one of the events I put on once a month. It'll be every month, every third Wednesday at 5 p.m. We'll have a town hall meeting similar to one we have in the night. And there'll be different departments in the district presenting to give information so parents can be abreast of all the new changes and things, exciting things going on in CPA land. Thank you. So I'm going to move on now to the high school principal, Mr. Brian Ericson.
All right, good evening, parents. Thank you for coming out. So to get us started for the high school, you've probably received some text messages from us. A couple of weeks ago, we had the PSAT testing for 9th and 10th grade. One of the questions that came up was, my child did not attend. Is that the only opportunity? Technically, that's really the makeup from last year because we were shut down. There is going to be another opportunity in April for the 9th and 10th grade students. Now, next week, we have the PSAT for 11th grade and we have the SAT for 12th grade. 11th grade is on Thursday, 12th grade is on Tuesday. Unlike NWEA, the PSAT is run by the college board and that organization does not do virtual testing. So it has to be on site. If you are a parent of a virtual student, on site, we have 6 feet spacing, which is based on CDC guidelines. We do a symptom check, a temperature check, and we do require masks. So we do encourage everyone to come, especially for the 11th and 12th grade, because that is required by a lot of colleges and universities. And for the seniors, they really are running out of time to get that taken care of. So we mailed out an RSVP form. If you did not RSVP, if your child did not RSVP, they can email Miss Hunt at huntv@chandlerparkacademy.net and we'll get them registered for next week. Again, that is 11th grade on Thursday and 12th grade on Tuesday. Okay, a couple other questions that were submitted was, how do I access student grades and attendance? And as Dr. Rencher alluded to, students do have logins. You can check your child's login on their phone, but we also did send out parent login information a couple weeks ago. And we do realize that the mail does not always go through, or possibly it was overlooked or intercepted in the mail. So we did have a technological hiccup, but it should be up and running at this point. And today we sent out a form to all parents via text. If you were having issues with your portal, if you didn't get the login information, to submit your name, and we will be reaching out to you in the next few days to make sure that's taken care of. That's really the best way to stay on top of your child's attendance. And at the high school level, it's just really crucial to do that. We're doing our best to reach out, but there are instances where we have students who attend 3 classes a day and they don't go to that 4th class, or there's 2 classes and they don't go to the 3rd class. So really staying on top of the attendance, making sure they're going is really key. Another question that was submitted, why would my child's virtual Zoom session be canceled and how would I know? So a couple weeks ago when I mentioned we had PSAT testing, we did cancel the Zooms for those grade levels because the teachers were proctoring the PSAT exams. But that's really an exception. The main reason that a Zoom session would be canceled is because the teacher is absent. And in any case where that happens, where the teacher is absent and they're not working that day, they're not going to lead the Zoom session, they will be emailing an assignment or placing an assignment in Google Classroom. And it is the responsibility of the student to complete it and submit it to the teacher. And that will be their attendance for the day. So during that same time frame, there is still something to be done. And by checking on the parent portal, you would see if your child completed that assignment because they would be marked present. Maybe delayed a day or so, but it would be on the parent portal. And the final question that we received from the high school was about graduation being off campus. And as it stands right now, we have not really finalized any details on graduation. Last year we did a drive-through graduation. It really depends largely on what COVID-19 brings come 2021. But I think this question was submitted as a concern about the number of tickets that are allowed. And in the past, We have worked with students and families. If someone does not need their 4 tickets, that is you typically allotted 4 to 5 tickets for the district auditorium. We do hold on to those, and then we do have, we do take requests for additional tickets. But again, all of that is pending, depending upon how COVID plays out. So right now, we are not sure. We're hopeful we can have a big graduation ceremony, but we will only do so, you know, if it's safe and if the numbers dictate that. So that was all the questions for the high school. Really do appreciate you coming out, and hope to see you at the next meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Ericson. Thank you. Thank you all principals. I got a few more things on the agenda. One of the questions, a lot of the questions you guys submitted were about food resources. So Mr. Anderson and Dr. Rencher has already addressed ways for any student, whether it be NC or virtual, to receive food. It's Tuesday at door number 6 of the elementary building from 3:30 to 5:30, and then on Fridays, every Friday from 10 to 12. No, yeah, 10 to 12 on Fridays at door number 6, same door. 10 to 2. 10 to 2. 10 to 2. 10 to 2. So that's one resource for food. We have a partnership with the Ford Resource Engagement Center, which is right down the street, a part of the old Fisher Upper School right here on Kelly Road in Maryland. They do weekly food distributions through Forgotten Harvest, through the Gleaners actually. The next one is Monday, October 26th from 1:30 to 3:30. Please make sure you pay attention to our social media posts or our website, as well as receive emails. The flyers look like this. You can see that. And it's our partnership with Ford Resource Center. We send it out every month. Once they give us a calendar, we send it out. So the next one again is called FREC, FREC, Ford Resource Engagement Center, right down the street from the school. The next one is October 26th, Monday from 1:30 to 3:30. You just pull up to the curb and they'll give you a bundle of food. Our next campus feeding event through Forgotten Harvest, our community feeding program, is November 10th. Tuesday, November 10th at 1 p.m. at the back of the elementary school. Some of you guys may have participated in the one we had this summer, which was a success. We serviced over 240 parents. So again, look out for information, for flyers, emails, robotext for the one we have coming up on campus November 10th, Tuesday at 1 p.m. It's our Forgotten Harvest community feeding. So that's 3 ways that we are supporting the community with food. I got a few more parent resources. If anyone is in need of Wi-Fi, Channel Park Academy has purchased a Wi-Fi package through Comcast, and we are offering free Wi-Fi. You just need to send me an email, Williams K, WILLIAMSK at channelparkacademy.net. Put your name, parent, and your student's name and grade, and let me know, and I'll make sure we get you the information you need to set up to get free Wi-Fi. Again, we have purchased already. It is totally free. We just need to get you set up. So if you are in need of Wi-Fi, please do not hesitate to reach out to me directly through email. I know Dr. Rencher mentioned it about the upcoming NC and Mr. Ericson as well. MAP testing. Schools will be reaching out to individual parents who have struggled with the technology when it comes to MAP testing, and be setting up a time to have your student come in to finish up their testing. That'll take place next week. Upcoming also from the Department of Testing and Data, Ms. Alderson, the PSAT and SAT, 12th graders October 27th, 11th graders October 29th, and 8th graders November 17th. So we just encourage your parents, please make sure that your children are here on that day, and you'll get further information about that coming up real soon. I got one more thing. Nope, I think that's it. Okay, so our next upcoming district event is from our social emotional department, our mental health and well-being virtual parent forum. That will be on November the 5th, which is a Thursday, the first Thursday of the month. You'll receive information about that upcoming as well. But again, it's our first virtual mental health and well-being parent forum. We'll have different vendors, professionals from the community talking about anxiety, depression, And so you don't want to miss that treat. It'll be at 5 p.m. as well. Again, information for that will be coming very soon. So with all this going on and all the challenges and obstacles Dr. Rencher talked about, so, kids and parents are going through a lot. So we're here to support. We have to, again, we're about the whole parent and the whole child, because it's more than just academics. We have to make sure that we are mentally and prepared to deal with the challenges that we face. So again, November 5th, the Mental Health and Wellbeing Virtual Parent Forum. Let's see. Parents, we are looking, each school every year puts together it's called a school improvement plan. And basically what that is that we look at our past year's data and we set goals in the 4 common areas of social study, science, math, and reading, for example, as well as parent engagement. We need some parents to volunteer to be on each school's team. It's very important that we have a parent voice, that you help us put this process together, help us to pick programs, and also evaluate programs of how did it work for your child. So I need, if you're interested in joining up on the social school improvement team, please email me directly, again, at williamsk@chandlerparkacademy.net. Let me know your child's grade, and I'll get you to that principal, and we will be glad to have you. We need a parent voice on a lot of our committees, so please don't hesitate to reach out. We want you to be involved.
Mr. Williams?
Yes, go ahead.
We did have one question in here about 3rd graders. When are they going to have Google Classroom access?
Yes, I was going to see if Mr. Anderson had an answer for that. If not, I'll handle it.
I would need to know which teacher it is. We have 6 teachers. So I guess I can put my email in the chat.
Yes.
And
yes,
I would need to know the student's name.
Ms. Smith, would you please email Mr. Anderson directly with your child's name and the teacher, and he'll directly get back with you to figure out what's going on with your child's Google Classroom. Thank you. What else we got? Yes, Ms. Richardson. Yes, we are taking donations. So, Ms. Richardson, if you have some face masks you can bring up to the school, please drop them off to Dr. Rencher in the middle school, and he'll make sure. I hope he will share with the rest of us. He may not, but hopefully he'll share with the other schools. He's kind of stingy. And we always need face masks and PPE for our students, as well as outside visitors coming into the building. We'll make sure everybody is covered and protected. So thank you for that. We appreciate you. Okay, right now is our Q&A session. So parents, if you did not get a chance to submit your question prior to the meeting, this is your chance right now to jump in there and throw out a question. I'll start off first with a question that was that dominated the registration. One of the questions was, when will students be allowed to come back to in-person instruction? So that's a very loaded question. We are in discussions literally every day about how that transition will work. But I have to tell you how we came to where we're at and why we're in this position right now. Back in May, we did a survey to parents, asking parents, what did you want to do? Did you want your child to go virtual, or did you want them to go in seat? So back in May, the survey results were 70% said in seat, 30% said virtual. Okay, with the new CDC guidelines, you can only have so many students in a classroom. So that threw us for a total loop, knowing that 70% of the parents want their child to be in seat. So the CEO, Ms. Diane Fisher, had me call the realtor. We had to call a real estate agent, because we know that with the number of students we have on campus, all the students could not fit inside our 3 schools because of the new social distancing rules. We had to space out. So we were at several different locations looking to purchase property or rent or lease property for this school year to be able to fit all of our students based upon the survey into these buildings. We were at Eastland Mall looking at the old Sears, the old JCPenney's, the old Target. We were all over there trying to find a space that we could turn into a temporary school site for our students. Well, ironically, 2 months later, when we did the survey again in August, once the state approved our learning pathways, 80%, it flipped. 80% of the parents said they wanted to go virtual, and 20% chose in-seat. Now, with that being said, we had to allocate so many different staff to virtual instruction. And that's where they are now, because parents chose that option. I'm really very proud of the district, because this is one of the main times we actually totally listened to what the parents asked and requested. We were trying to be transparent, open, honest. It'd have been much easier for us to close down the district and go 100% virtual, which was every other district did. I was talking to a vendor from the YWCA, and they had to close down their latchkey programs because all the schools were virtual. And she said, Mr. Williams, Chandler Park Academy is one of the only schools in Metro Detroit that is even offering an in-seat option. And we offered that in-seat option because there were parents who needed our support, needed our help. So that's why we did that. So that's why we're stuck now with 20% in-seat and 80% virtual, based upon literally what you said you needed from us. And we try to provide that at 100%. So I'm very proud of the district for listening to parents and their requests. Now, there have been requests now to see how we can begin to go back to in-seat instruction. So we are literally discussing that every day. We are hiring additional staff and teachers because it's still not enough parents who want to come back in-seat. And our staff is already doing virtual and some in-seat. So we have to hire additional staffing to be able to meet the requests of those who want to come back in-seat. We're steady watching what the governor says, what the CDC says, and waiting to see exactly when the state will go back to in-seat. We're just playing it by ear, but we are trying to address the individual parents who would like to consider coming back in-seat. So what I would say, please reach out to your school because it's really grade by grade. It's really student by student, grade by grade. There may be one 8th grade spot open, but not a kindergarten spot open. So please reach out to your school, let them know that you will be interested in coming back in-seat, and we'll start to create a list and see how we can accommodate you as we add more teachers and more staff, and then we are constantly working on how we can do this shift to get more students back in-seat, because that is actually the request, and as well as still serve those who want to go virtual. But right now we're caught in a rock and a hard place because, again, 80% chose virtual and 20% chose in-seat. So just be patient with us, but more importantly, call your school and just let them know, hey, if a spot comes open in-seat, please let me know, and we'll put you on the list, and then we'll work it that way. So we're just waiting with the governor, like everybody else, to see exactly what the next steps would be for just full-fledged in-seat instruction and what that may look like. Any other questions? Hopefully I answered that question, not being too long, but I wanted to let parents know that we are in this situation which is okay. We listen to the parents. We didn't make a decision behind closed doors on our own. The survey drove our decision making, and we're totally okay with that. I'm really proud that happened, because that means we're servicing our parents, and we will continue to do that. Principals, you got anything else you want to share, or last comments before we close out?
I just want to just say to the parents, I mean, whether you have a student in-seat or virtual, that you are doing a fantastic job. I mean, I think this situation has really opened all of the stakeholders' eyes in regards to coming together and servicing our students. And many Zoom sessions that I've attended and watched, parents in the background just supporting those little ones as the teacher is virtually doing instruction. So a round of applause to you parents for doing such a fantastic job with sticking with us and sticking with those students.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson.
I just wanted to thank the parents for their patience, because this is new. We're all learning. There's days where the Wi-Fi at the school drops and everyone gets kicked out of Zoom and we're all getting back in. There's days where we're a little backed up trying to pass out Chromebooks. Not everyone has one at the moment, but we're working through issues, trying to provide Wi-Fi and doing our best. And we appreciate you having patience and working with us on this.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I'd just like to say really quickly that I have two young girls at home, and they're completely virtual. And I know that's not the best option. It's not the way they learn most effectively. But of course, we're in a certain situation where we have to make hard decisions. And I know that everyone is in the same boat, and we're doing everything that we can. So just like Mr. Anderson and Mr. Erickson just said, also Mr. Williams, as a district, I think we owe a great gratitude towards all the parents that work with us. So thank you, and please continue to do so.
Well said, gentlemen. Well said. Well said. Thank you guys so much for taking this time to spend with the parents. Parents, also, if you are still waiting on a device, a Chromebook device that is a worldwide shortage, we are working very diligently with our vendors. We ordered computers 6 months ago. 6 months ago, paid for them and everything. Still have not have not received them. So, but we're like any other school though across the country, because when every school across the country is trying to order at the same time, you only can produce so many of them. But continue to be patient and work with us. And we hope to have some good news about the devices coming in very shortly. But we ordered 6 months ago, and we're waiting like everyone else is. But just continue to work with us as we work with the vendor. If there's no other questions, comments, or concerns, we're going to close the meeting out. Our next meeting again is November 18th at 5 p.m. The third Wednesday of November. Ms. Audison, the testing and data coordinator, will be presenting as well with the principals on that day. She'll be talking about your child's MAP scores, how to read them, how to understand them, as well as some parenting tips on how to help your child with student growth at home. So look forward to seeing you. In the meantime, if you have any questions, any issues or concerns, or need help, again, email me at williamsk@chandlerparkcounty.net, or reach out to your school directly, to your principals. We are always here, literally always here, and we're willing to help out however we can. All right. Thank you for coming tonight. Have a great night. We'll see you next month.